everyone. I hope everybody's doing well today. Today we have a very special treat. We are doing Pizzachan's podcast. I'm going to be interviewing my favorite streamers from now until December 30th, randomly throughout the months. And my very first streamer will be Miss ElisaPrey. I have her on the line here, and I'll introduce her just in a minute. But she is probably the chillest and most soft-spoken streamer amongst my favorite streamers. Yes, Miss Prey, Miss Prey, the lovely Miss Prey. But yeah, I'm gonna bring her on here so we can get this started. Miss Elisa, are you there?
Yes, hello.
Okay, Queen, can you hear her at all? I kind of drown everybody out because I have a big booming voice, which makes us complete opposites.
Maybe so.
Maybe so, yeah. Yeah. Queen, are you there? Can you hear her? You can hear her? Good. Okay. All right. So, thank you, Miss Elisa, for being on my very humble and small stream.
Love
I appreciate that. I find you one of the most fascinating streamers because just your points of view and how intelligent you express yourself and all of your opinions, which is
thank you.
very interesting because I just sit back. Basically, I come in, I give bits for luckiness, and then I just sit back and listen to you. And while I eat or work on my stories or whatever, it's not that I don't want to participate in chat. I just enjoy listening to you. You're like a podcast for you. So,
oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, so we should get on with this and we stop blabbing because I'm good at that, just talking randomly about random things.
Oh, same.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like some of your favorite hobbies besides streaming?
Well, my favorite hobby besides streaming, I think mostly just include playing games of any other kind, you know, watching stuff.
Watching stuff.
Like that.
Like
Watching
movies.
stuff.
What kind of movies do you prefer?
Movies.
Horror, of course.
Yes.
But
Yeah, I love horror movies. Yeah, obviously. I also really enjoy period movies, historical ones. I think those are fantastic too.
Oh, is there a particular one that you like the most, like your favorite that you always go back to?
I think, well, one that I always go back to, it's very, very tricky, but like historical dramas are great anyway. Like I really like Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Pride and Prejudice, stuff like that.
There you go.
Pretty
There you
great.
go. I really enjoy Pride and Prejudice too.
It's a good movie. It's great.
It is. The dynamics and everything in the past makes it all, I don't know, just more appealing to me. You know how people used to act and have balls and things, and language was just so much more. I don't know, had more finesse to it. Like they use bigger words like auspicious and things. It's like, yes, that's lovely.
It's true. It's true. Things were more sophisticated.
Yeah. Now we're like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, it's definitely. I just like the dynamic a lot in like Pride and Prejudice. It's just
it's very
fascinating. It really is fascinating.
Yeah. Oh, hey, stop gifting subs in there, Queen. Thank you, Queen, for gifting that sub to Red. And hello, everybody. Welcome on in. We're interviewing the great ElisaPrey today.
You flatter me, Lizzie.
No. Seriously, you're an awesome person. Lexi, can I have a shout out for Miss ElisaPrey? Guys, go follow her because right now are you still doing the Dark Souls? All the speed run or the hard run? I'm not sure the difficulties on that because I gave up like halfway through the beginning.
Yeah, I'm still doing the challenge run. It's true.
You're a mad woman, you know that, because you did the village, the shadows with the knife and everything, and I'm like in awe, going, how did she even get through that? I would have broken everything on my desk.
Honestly, I don't even know how I did it. Like, I don't even know. There's just something, I guess, to do stuff like that, you need to be a little bit crazy. Like, you need to be a little bit insanely crazy to do stuff like that. It has nothing to do with skill. It has more to do with like perseverance. But perseverance,
you're very determined to get it completed.
Yeah, determination and just insanity straight up.
Okay, all right, I get you. You like the challenge of it, and I believe there's only 2 people right now with that actual award of getting through it with just the knife.
I think it should be 2 or 3 or something like that.
I know Legacy Joe is the other, and I'm not sure if there's a third one or not. I'll have to get Queen to check that out because Queen is always up to date on that. Yes, somebody did say Village of Shadows, Ricardo. Elisa went through it with knife only. I don't know how she did it, but she
It was
did it. So
insane.
that's kind of freaking amazing. You know what I mean? Yeah, Dark Souls. She's after Dark Souls now. She did Sekiro also all the way through. Crazy games.
Yeah, crazy games, true. Yeah, I think Legacy was the I think Legacy and one other guy are like the only ones to complete like speed runs.
Yeah.
A Village of Shadows Knife only. I did not do a speed run. Like it took me the second I jumped into the arena to the end of the fight, like just one attempt on Moreau. It took me like an hour and 10 minutes
But you
to beat
still keep
only
at it
him.
though, diligently. You still keep at it, which is
I
amazing.
still do keep at it. It's true, but it
It's like
wasn't
no
like
matter how many
speedy or
times you fail, you're
anything.
like, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah,
It requires a lot of craziness.
I love that about you. That you just keep going at it. It's like, no, it's
Thank
not
you.
going to defeat me. It's good. It's
No,
good.
no, I operate out of spite like most of the time, so that's what keeps me going.
I get you. I get you. All
Yeah.
right, Elisa, why streaming? Why did you decide to start streaming?
Why did I decide to start streaming? Well, first of all, my sister, like she's always been on Twitch. Well, not always. Like she's been on Twitch for quite a few years. She's a Magic the Gathering streamer. She's a pretty big Magic streamer too. So streaming has always been something. Well, that people around me have been doing really. But besides that, for me, I think I just well, I was going through a breakup and I was just like, what am I going to do with my time now? You know, like,
Yeah.
because you spend so much time with this one person. And you're like, what am I going to do? I was just like so bored. I was playing solitaire all the time. I was like, why not streaming? Why not? Like, I play video games all the time anyway. It's a good way to connect with people and to talk to people and to have something to just spend your time with, you know?
Yeah, you do love talking to your chat, which I admire
Oh,
as
yeah,
well. Because a lot of
absolutely.
bigger streamers will just say hi to you and completely ignore you and go back to the. Not you. Whenever you see a person in chat, no matter how many viewers you got, you're like, oh yeah, 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 and keep going off on it. I'm like, I love that about her. She just
Yeah, I feel
she interacts with her chat really well, and you have a great community. It's just a good atmosphere to be in. That's why I'm so chill in there. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit back and listen to her talk because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
oh yeah, definitely no pressure. I feel that's the best part about Twitch though. It's Twitch, I don't know. The best part is just talking to chats. Like I feel like that's what makes the difference between whether you do like an offline YouTube playthrough or something versus
Mm-hmm.
Twitch. Like the
Yeah.
only difference is chats and having a live chat with you. So that's why I always try to prioritize it. Like no matter what game I play, even though it's hell sometimes, like doing Dark Souls, which is a game that you cannot pause, as well
Oh.
as keeping up with chat in that way.
Uh huh.
It's hard, but I feel like it should always be priority number one because that is really what like makes Twitch so different, and it's really what makes Twitch well Twitch, you know. So it's always something that I just prioritize chat like above all.
Yeah. The Dark Souls, I played it a little bit, and then the fact that I had to go back to the beginning, I got so mad I broke my controller and vowed I would never play it again as long as I lived. It's like
Oh
no.
God.
I'd always fall off the cliff sides too. It's like
Oh, me too. No, the map is the worst fucking part about Dark Souls. It's the worst
man,
part. It's
right?
just
And the angle
terrible.
just
It's
gets you
terrible.
just right in the right spot, so you just go whee off the
The
edge.
map is
Oh
designed to
shit.
throw you off. It's designed to throw you off. It's just a fact. It's not even a conspiracy. It's just designed to just throw you off.
Yeah. Thank you, Peaches, for the follow. I appreciate it. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's cool. And how long have you been a streamer?
I think I've been streaming for about like I think close to 11 months now or 11
11
months
months.
give or
Oh, okay.
take. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool that you have that massive of a following in that short of time.
Thank you.
See, I
Thank
told
you.
you it's just like magnetism. It's magnetism, I'm telling you.
You
And I
think
was
so?
talking earlier about that soothing voice. Did you always have that kind of personality, or did you just slip that in there as a persona for your streaming?
Mm, well, I feel like I don't really have like a persona of any kind for streaming,
Because
which
a lot of people do. So,
yeah, a lot of people do. It's true. Like I remember in the early days when I like started streaming, I looked up some YouTube videos, you know, because I was like, what is Twitch really about? I've never really been much of a Twitch viewer. So I was like checking some videos out, like, you know, those stereotypical videos like growth and stuff like that on Twitch. And the number one thing that was recommended was like get a persona, like
mm-hmm.
things that are wrong about you, like or things that you like you don't like about your personality, change them. And I've never really done anything like that, but the more I stream, the more I understand like why people say you should get a persona,
Mm-hmm.
because the main issue really is that like if you're 100% yourself on Twitch as I am, you take a lot of things way more personally,
Mm-hmm.
the chat can say to you and stuff. Like I really feel any insults or any like comments or anything that's negative that might be slung towards you is it's personal, you know? Like it's not like an insult towards your persona or something that you crafted. It's just like an insult towards your being,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I do get it. Like not only for the fact that you'll become more appealing to your audience if you're, you know, making a persona, but also it's like some sort of like shield of like self-protection, right?
Yeah. Pretending
But I've
the
not done
delicate
anything
parts.
like
Yeah, I
that.
get you. I get you. I'm a rather sensitive and strange person when it comes to that. If somebody insults me, I'm gonna think about it for like weeks.
Oh, me too. I might not seem that way, but I'm really sensitive too. Like I take a lot of like comments to heart,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Yeah, I feel you on that.
But I haven't the entire time I've been into your stream, which it hasn't been long. But I've noticed that nobody usually talks that way. Everybody's jovial and nice to each other. So that's kind of
Yeah, I do feel like kindness inspires kindness in other people. You know, I always
yeah.
try to be, it doesn't matter. Like sometimes people come into my chat and they're right off the bat just like weird vibes or make like a really weird comment. Like I always try to be like kind or like, you know, well mannered towards them. It might change them like into like the good way, you know, like it might like convince them to either give me a follow or just be kind again. Because like, you know, the last thing you want is like weird vibes or people just being rude or nasty or something like that.
That's a really good way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I get so flustered, and it's like I get mad, and it's like I forget how to speak like a normal human being.
It's true. It's true. Like, yeah,
I
I
get
do get
streamer
flustered
brain really
sometimes as
bad.
well. Yeah, it's a lot to deal with. It's true.
And me and Queen were talking this morning about how the Dutch streamers are 10 times more chill than normal streamers. Like they could
You
be
think it's a
at
Dutch
their
thing?
peak anger and still sound like they're like, yo man.
Yeah,
I love
Queen is
it.
definitely
I
like that
love it.
too. It's true. Like Queen can be raging and or she can be stressed and like nervous as hell. Like during her recent stream of what's that game again? Outlast, and she just
Yes,
sounded
Outlast.
completely
Yeah,
calm,
she has a
like
personal hatred
completely.
for
Yeah,
the last difficulty, but
yeah.
she still stands calm like you do, even when you're getting your butt kicked.
It's
It's
weird,
like
right?
wow. Well, I
Yeah.
envy that so much. Me, I'll be going ah, and screaming.
I mean, that does have entertainment value, you know.
I know, but that kind of adds entertainment to your stream, though. If you're
Yeah.
some people like raging on stream, but
Oh, they do. Yeah,
yeah,
they
they
do.
enjoy your pain.
They do. Twitch chat does enjoy your pain. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. All right. So when you first started streaming, what was the hardest aspect that you didn't think was going to be hard?
Hmm. What's the hardest aspect? Well, I think just dealing with people in chat is like the hardest aspect. One aspect that I definitely did not expect to be as much of like a big issue that it would be is the backseating. Like I had no idea that it would be
Oh
that
yeah.
intense,
Mhm.
like right off the bat, you know?
Mhm.
But also just dealing with people in chat in general, like people on Twitch just really come from like all walks of life, you know? And Twitch has the additional aspect of course, being the internet, right? People are hidden behind like anonymity. They can feel like they can get away with anything, or like most people do, because they're just so hidden, you know, like they're protected by a persona or some, you know, anonymity themselves. So people just come in chats and just do the craziest things, say the craziest things, whether it's creepy, perverted, rude, straight
Excuse
up,
me.
or
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
fighting
I agree.
people.
Mhm.
It's really hard to deal with because these people, they do not apply the same kind of like mannerism and rules that like you would have when you meet a literal stranger, or enter like, you know, a literal party almost like IRL, you know,
Yeah,
like
so
they do
you
not
wouldn't go up to
apply the
somebody
same
and say,
kind of
"Can I
like,
sit on your shoulder?" just
yeah.
randomly. Like
Right,
what?
like they would not like behave that way. So I really did not expect the fact, I mean, I knew that the internet was, you know, kind of crazy, of course, from like Twitter comments or YouTube comments, like I knew people like wouldn't hold back. But I feel when it's something as personal as Twitch, I just didn't expect it to be that crazy. Like, how can you look at somebody's stream, see someone playing a game, see like good vibes in chat, whatever, and then you come in and you enter and you like make like a really weird comment or start fighting people or be nasty or creepy. It's weird. Like, I just never expected that to be like to this extent, but I've experienced just way too much of it, way
I
too
would,
much.
yeah, I would think that female streamers in particular that have a nice face, which you do, would get more harassed more than you know people who don't. I don't have a nice
Oh, definitely,
so it's like they
definitely.
just target them out for some reason. It's like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go and harass this pretty lady today because I feel like it.
I mean, it's true. It's true. It's just the internet for you, and it's sad. Like, it is really sad. But I feel I wish I could say that there was a certain level of like equality on Twitch. Like a certain
Mm-mm.
level of gender equality, but it's definitely not like
Right.
because we are still, even though it's crazy, because I feel like the amount of women who stream and play games is probably the exact same as the amount of men that stream and play games.
Mm-hmm.
But yet still feels like we're in a male dominated space, which is just really weird. But that is probably why there's like a lot of like, still targeted hatred because obviously, um, well, the dude bros feel like we're invading their space. So it doesn't surprise me that they target like female streamers specifically, you
I
know?
love that you just said dude bros. I love it.
It's dude bros. It's true. There's no other way to call them.
And I was
Like,
I was telling Queen earlier, I love the way you say baboon. It just makes me happy.
baboon, yeah.
So whenever you say it, I just get
I
this big
never
old
thought it
grin
was
on my
weird.
face, no matter what I'm doing.
I never thought it was weird. No,
Look, it's just your accent. I mean, I enjoy
it is. Yeah.
streamers with accents. So they say certain words different. I don't know. It's just my weird quirk, I
Yeah.
guess. It just makes the stream that much better. I don't know. That's probably really
Oh,
weird
thank
to
you.
say.
Thank you.
But yeah, when I started streaming, I had a real trouble balancing gameplay and taking an eye on chat. So
Hmm.
I would either neglect one or the other. I'd be constantly pausing or paying attention to the game and not chat. That was my biggest problem.
Yeah, that is still hard. It's still hard, but I don't know. I guess I've just gotten. Well, I was forced to get used to it because I've just been playing so many games that straight up do not have a pause button. So like, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
You just get used to it, I guess.
Yeah, it's like no, I have to pop my eyeballs back and forth, so it gets tiring really quickly. And it's like it's not
It is
something that I would have
annoying.
expected to be super hard, but it is.
Yeah, it is definitely, but it's a good struggle, because you don't want chat to be dead or something. You don't want
Right.
to not have chat to look at. So it's like it's a struggle, but like a blessing at the same time too.
Okay. Yeah. That's very true. That's very true. All right. All right. As a fellow horror streamer, because I'm a horror streamer too, just louder, just louder. But what made you fall for the horror genre? I mean, have you always been into it? Because when I was little, I loved zombie movies from like age 8 up. So.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, I've been into horror for like a long time too, and how I got into it's actually kind of well, it's a story that I think I've told on stream once before, but it's kind of well, it's kind of a personal story, but I don't mind sharing it
I
now
mean, if you
anyway.
don't
I
want
share
to,
on
that's
stream all the
absolutely
time.
fine. But
No, of course, I'm comfortable with it. I've shared it on stream many times too. From a really young age, I've always been dealing with like certain phobias and stuff of any kind. I don't know how, I don't know why. I think it was first reported that I dealt with that stuff when I was like 4 or 5 or something, really young. So it's kind of something I was born with. Um, and really early, I started like flocking to the horror genre simply because being scared of anything that wasn't my phobias was really a blessing. So if I caught myself like watching like a movie about possession or ghosts or anything like that and feeling myself be scared of that or like thinking about that or the fear of it like for the rest of like the evening or whatever, I would always be happy. It's like fighting fire with fire, like I just cancel those phobias out with like a different fear for something. It's nice to be afraid of something that's artificial and doesn't exist. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it was really nice. I just use it kind of like as a sort of like therapy for myself, like you take back that feeling of anxiety and fear and you just like have it for something that doesn't exist. It was very therapeutic. It also got me more intimately connected with just like the feeling of fear and like
Mm-hmm.
how like triggering it myself, instead of being it more like involuntarily. It was really nice. Have always used it as like a therapeutic form, but it's also caused me to be completely insensitive to any kind of horror right now. Like I don't scare jump anymore. Nothing of the sort. Like because I have just watched it since I was so young and so often. Like I hardly scare jump ever anymore.
Well,
I'm just too used to
congratulations on
horror.
that because that's a big step. Because I'm terrified of spiders. Terrified. Okay, if they
Oh
get
yeah.
near me, I freak out. I actually scream for my husband. It's like, come and get rid of it! It's so bad. I had
No, I
one
get
jump
that.
on me when I was young, like 5 or 6. It
Oh,
jumped on my face and crawled down my shirt. So
oh
ever
no.
since then, it's like, please keep them away from me. And I'm getting better. I'm starting to watch like YouTube videos with spiders in them to like
Ooh.
get myself desensitized. But it still doesn't help though. If I see one in real life, I scream and like run up on a chair.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really think that like exposure therapy like that works at
Mhm.
all. Like, I feel like it doesn't. Like, I feel like it's just a very like. Of course, people have recommended like me exposure therapy and stuff for my own things, and I've seen TV shows where they like help people with or helped, quotation marks, people with phobias and stuff like that. With exposure therapy, but I feel like it doesn't work for shit. Like, it really does not work. It doesn't. It just traumatizes people further.
Yeah, it didn't work for me.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's just I don't know. I've yet to hear of anyone who it actually works from.
Yeah. It's just the spiders, enclosed spaces, and drowning are like my biggest ones.
Oh yeah,
It's
drowning is
like
terrible.
when I have a dream about falling in the water and drowning. Oh my god, I freak out. I freak out. I'm
I
like that all day.
It's true. I always like whenever I watch like movies or like TV shows or something where somebody gets buried alive, that always gives me like,
Oh yeah, it's the worst.
ugh,
Oh, it's like no,
that
no, no,
seems
please, no.
that's just something that does like make me like, well, this is something that I do not want, like in any way, like at
Right,
all.
right, yeah.
Like please no.
So was there a game that came close to giving you a jump scare?
Outlast. And more terrible than anything, like that grandpa or something, that character in the wheelchair at the beginning of Outlast, that is so obvious that it's gonna be a scare, still got
Oh,
me.
that
It still got me.
one.
Like
Okay, yeah.
it still fucking got me. Like it was terrible. I knew it was gonna happen. I said it to chat. It is gonna happen. Still, I just got shook. Like caught in 4K.
Yeah, I'm always looking for the super scary games, the one that gives me goosebumps and stuff, because I get that really weird goosebumps in the hair on the back of my neck. I'll stand up when I'm really
Ugh.
scared. Like it when I played Fatal Frame for the first time, I got so scared I had to sleep with my roommate. I was like, "This
Yeah, I
game is
mean, I'm
awesome,
always
but
looking
can
for
I sleep
scary
with
games
you?"
too.
It was so bad. It was just
Yeah.
a
No.
combination of the environment and ghosts being. I believe in ghosts because I have one living in my house right now. So
Really? No,
oh,
we need a story. We need a story on that.
you didn't know about Pappy? I told Queen about Pappy. There
Oh, what a
basically
name.
in my sister's room there is a hatch in the ceiling that none of us have gone in. It's like painted shut and everything. That's information
Okay.
for later. But we started hearing noises out of it, like random thumping and clunking. We thought, well, but there's probably something up there, like a bird or whatever. But later on, when the stress started to build up in the house, other things would start happening. And first thing I always notice is the cherry tobacco smell in the hallway because my house has 3 floors. There's a basement, there's the main floor, and then there's the upstairs where all the bathroom and the bedrooms are. So in the stairwell, you would always smell like tobacco smoke when none of us smoke. None of us smoke. And we're like, "Do you smell that?" And my hub's like, "You're imagining stuff again." I was like, "Okay, all right."
Oh my god.
And then my sister, while she was coming home from work, she was getting her stuff ready for the next day. She heard music playing from under the floor, and it was
No
like
way.
she thought it was us down here being loud, and she came down and I was just sitting here diamond painting. She's like, "Do you hear that?" I was like, "Hear what? What are you talking about?" She's like, "I thought I heard music upstairs." I was like, "Oh,
Oh
okay,
hell no. Like hell
okay."
no.
All right, so we heard the music, and then the event started to become more and more advanced. So I was here by myself. I'm here by myself because I don't work from like early morning till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So there's no one here but me. And I was down here just get setting up to go stream. I think I was talking about it on stream too. And I was down here and I started hearing thumping from upstairs. And I was like, the heck is that? I went upstairs because my
Oh
sister
no.
has guinea pigs upstairs. So I get on the stairwell and I start hearing talking, not loud talking, but like
Oh
it
my
sounds
god.
like an old man talking. I was like, what the heck? Okay. I look
Oh
in
hell
the
no.
hallway window out the window because we live close to neighbors. We're actually a back street, so there's like 6 houses in front of us and 2 on either side, and then there's a parking lot behind us. So it was like probably one of them outside playing with their dog or something. There was nobody outside, nobody. I was like, oh. And when I got to the
Oh.
top of the balcony, I heard it louder, and it was like, what is that? What is that noise? And then I got closer to my sister's bedroom door, and it stopped, went dead. I was like,
Oh my god.
all the hair
Oh my
stood up
god.
on the back of my neck. I
No.
was like,
I would have ran, like I just would have left that house. I would, but I also have seen enough horror movies to know that even if you leave the house, like it's like the ghost that finds you and not the house or whatever,
right, right.
right?
And
So
I
even
went
if you
in there,
leave,
and
it
my
will not
sister's
change
bedroom
anything.
was so cold, and that's the hottest room in the house.
Oh, that is you're playing real life phasmophobia right there. Like miss me with that. Seriously, like oh my
Yeah, so
god.
it's fine. It's like okay, okay, and I'm not the only one who's heard it either. My sister has heard the music box, she's heard the mumbling, and my
The
husband
music
was the last
box.
one to experience it because he was down here by himself playing video games. I had gone upstairs to watch TV, and he swear there was somebody standing next to him while he was standing down here. He looked over and there was nobody there. He thought it was me. I was upstairs. And he came upstairs. He's like, "Were you just downstairs?" I was like, "No, I've been here. My ass has been in this bed for an hour." And he's like, "No." I was like, "You
Oh
saw
my
Pappy,
god.
didn't you?" And he's like, "No." I was like, "Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did."
Oh god. I like that the ghost has a name though. That y'all even named the ghost. Like that is
Yeah, it's definitely
crazy.
an old man, but I don't think he means us any harm. He's just playful. He likes to just wander around in the hallway. I think he was actually talking to the guinea pigs upstairs. Is why he was
No
talking.
way. Oh my god. So you just see all this shit happening, and all of a sudden you're in a cold room, and all of a sudden you hear music boxes, and you're like, okay,
Next
understandable. Have a
time
good
I hear the
day.
music box, I'm going to film it and put it so you guys can hear it. I'm not crazy. I
Oh my god.
swear. All of us have experienced it. Pappy is here.
You should. You should. Honestly, you could get a movie deal out of it, really. Because
Right?
this is
Right?
crazy. This is crazy. Like, secure the bag. Like, film that. Ship it. You
Yeah,
know,
ship it.
secure
It's
the
like
bag.
Lizzie's house ghost.
It's crazy. Like,
But the
it's like
more
The
stress in the
Conjuring.
house, the more the events happen. So it's like he's like trying to. I don't know. It's really strange. Really strange. I was talking to Lexi, one of my mods, about it. It's like, what do I do? Is it gonna eat me?
Oh my god. Have you considered like buying any of that like real life like ghost hunting equipment,
No,
like the
I thought
actual
about it
EMF
though. I thought
meters
about
or
it.
like
Get
the
the
actual,
EMP in there. It's like, is there a ghost? I don't want to insult him though. We're on good terms, you know.
god, like the actual spirit box and just like trying to talk to him. It's like hello.
Yeah, because my house is really
What?
old. It's like 117 years old.
Ooh.
So there's stuff about this house that's pretty creepy, like the hatch in the ceiling, and the basement's like in a weird sections. It's got an area that's completely like walled up, but you can see underneath. It's like whoa.
Yeah, when I hear all this visually, I only see the Conjuring house. Like I only I only see the house from the Conjuring. Oh
The
my god. Have
Conjuring.
you
Oh, that was such a good movie. I know people really didn't like it, but I enjoyed The Conjuring a whole lot because it
Oh, it's
actually made me
great.
nervous, and it's like, oh, that's creepy. Oh.
The Conjuring is fantastic. Have you ever even considered opening the hatch though? Have you ever even like
We
considered
thought
looking what's
about
up
it, but my
there?
sister won't let me because it's in her
No,
room.
it's probably best to leave that stuff undisturbed. Like if you're on good terms with the ghosts, it's probably best to just like respect
Yeah,
each
because there's
other
something
and like
there's
pray
something
that
up
no one
there.
aggravates the party.
Yeah, I don't know what's up there. Maybe something he is clinging to. It's like, okay, that's fine. You stay up there. Maybe the music is from the floor, but maybe the music box is up there. I don't know. Or who knows what's going on? Or he's buried in the floor of the house. It's all these things
Oh
pop
my
into my head. It's like no.
Wow, that is insane. Like that is like equally fascinating but scary but insane too and cool as well and somehow. Like
Yeah.
you have a pet ghost. Like how many people can say that really?
Yes, yes. It's like weird. My one friend. There was another experience with my one friend from high school. She came to visit, and we were sitting here eating pizza, and she got a call about one of her family members passing, and she started to cry naturally, and I was comforting her. And I walked away for a minute, and she's like, "I felt something over my shoulder just a minute ago. It was really cold." I
Oh
was like,
no.
"Oh, Pappy came down. He doesn't usually come downstairs unless he's tormenting my husband." But but
Oh my
I
god.
actually think that he came down to comfort her.
How did she react to that? Like, how?
She's
What
like,
did she do?
a ghost lives in your house? I was like, yeah, I told you about Pappy. She's like, I thought you were kidding. I was like, no.
Oh my God.
We're
Well,
not
that
kidding,
describes
dude.
her pretty
There's a
well, I
ghost in
think.
my house.
That's crazy. Wow. Oh my God.
I totally went off on a tangent about my ghost. I apologize. The stream is supposed
Honestly,
to be
I'm
about
so
you, but I
fascinated.
just went off.
I don't think I've been fascinated like this much in like the longest time. Like this, I have not heard of anyone who had like an actual, seemingly friendly ghost in their house. But
Yeah,
like, wow.
he walks in backs and forth through the hallways a couple of times a night too, so you hear footsteps when there's nobody there.
Oh no, that would be like no,
Yeah, we got a couple
no,
of
that
loose
would even
boards,
freak
so it
me out.
creaks and pops a little bit, and it always wakes me up. I'm like, what the heck? Okay.
Oh my God.
So I
Well, at
would never
least you
know
don't
if
live
there's a
alone.
burglar. Because
I
my
feel like
ghost
a
walks back and
burglar would be
forth.
better than a ghost for me, at least. You know, like I'd rather have it be a burglar than a ghost.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine just living by yourself and having to deal with that ghost by yourself? Like, that would be like so much more creepier. Like, oh my God.
He isn't actually very mean, co-op. He doesn't do anything mean. He just teases my husband because my husband doesn't believe in ghosts.
And
So
your
yeah,
husband
he'll
still
do
doesn't
things
believe
just to
after all of
irritate
this.
him.
God.
Yeah, he's not like a poltergeist that moves stuff or throws stuff. He just creaks around and plays music boxes and smokes his pipe.
Oh, maybe not yet.
Shh, shh, we're on good terms, Elisa. We're on good terms. Shh. I don't want him to. I don't live outside in a tent because
Don't want to give
he's
him ideas.
possessing
I get it.
people.
I get it. Let's not inspire him to do anything crazy now, you know?
Yeah, yeah. We're chill. We're good. We don't want to make him mad because that's pretty scary.
No, that would be the last thing you'd want to do, I think. The last thing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's get back to the interview and stop talking about ghosts, even though that my ghost. It's a really strange tune too. It's like a half out of sync tune when it plays. It's like it's really old. I can't
Have
describe
you
it. I'll
tried
have to go
finding
look
the
through
music
music
boxes?
box tunes so I can see if I can find something that sounds like it.
Maybe the music box is what's up the hatch. Who knows?
Oh yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know, dude. It's my sister goes. It's in the floor somewhere, okay, and it freaks me out. I was like, yeah, you sleeping in the room that he hangs out in? No way. Mm-mm.
Your poor sister. No, I do not want to be in her shoes. Absolutely not. No.
She's like, no. I mean, what would
Oh
you
my
do if
God.
you're standing in there in a room by yourself? The temperature starts to drop, and you start hearing music coming from your floor. It's like, what? Might
I would throw
hallucinate?
myself out the window. That's what I would do. Like, I would
No,
be like, I'm
don't
out.
jump out the window.
Like, goodbye. Like, no, absolutely not. Like, I've seen more than enough movies and how that's gonna end up for me. Like, no, absolutely not. Like,
With a smudge stick, yeah. I could need a much smudge stick. But
maybe you should.
anyway.
Maybe you should try to use sage or like anything of the sort. Like, what do they use? Like, incense or something. Maybe you should try it. And but I don't know. Maybe it could aggravate him. Maybe it could give him the sense of like you want him to leave. Maybe it could like start some weird, dynamic power play. You know,
This is my
maybe
ghost
it's the
friend.
best thing to do.
It's really, but I mean, I'm not. I've been having ghost experiences since I was young. I used to
Hmm.
see my grandfather whenever bad stuff was gonna happen. That's also very strange.
Wow.
Yeah, my
I
mom
mean,
kept his ashes in the house because he was cremated, so that's probably why he hung out. But whenever something strange was gonna happen or something bad, I would see him and then he would disappear. Kind of creepy. But anyway, thank you, Depulio, for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome, welcome. We're having a podcast today with the great ElisaPrey. And I went off on a tangent about a ghost.
I'm still fascinated though. Like, have you even considered the fact that like that ghost? Like, I mean, obviously, like they say, at least in The Conjuring, they say that like ghosts do not haunt places; they haunt people. Have you ever considered that that guy could maybe be your grandpa, the ghost that's actually in your house right now?
My grandpa never smoked.
Hmm.
My uncle did though. My uncle, one of my estranged, I mean, we weren't really close or anything, but he smoked a cherry wood pipe. So maybe,
Well,
maybe it could be
well,
him,
have
which
you
is
ever
strange.
asked if he likes music boxes? Maybe.
I don't remember much about him. I was really young when he died. So,
Hmm.
but I remember him having the pipe because I liked the smell. I used to sit with him while he would do. He used to work on what are they called? The little miniature train sets that go underneath Christmas trees. He used to
Mm-hmm.
do those, and but he never had said anything about music boxes. Easy Bear, thank you for the follow. Mini Cat, hello. Everybody's waving. Hello, everyone. Go follow Deadpoolio because he's amazing. Anyway, but yeah, it could be. I don't know though. I don't know if he would attach himself because I haven't seen him in so.
Hmm.
Hmm. We just know
Hmm.
it's an old man because it sounds like an old man.
He sounds like an old man. Like you've heard his voice, yes?
Yeah, I heard his voice. It was really low. It was like lower than yours, but kind of had
Hmm.
that scratchy kind of I've smoked a while voice. So it was like, what, what? But see, now I'm hearing popping on the steps. Pappy, you better stay upstairs.
No, no, no. Have him over. Have him over. Let's bring him. Let's bring him to the podcast. Let's ask him to just join us,
No,
maybe.
we don't want him to join us because
God,
God knows what he would say. You know what I mean?
we don't know, but that would be kind of crazy if you caught like a ghost live on Twitch. Honestly, I think it could be kind of epic.
If I could actually get some evidence that he's here. I mean, I do have witnesses. My family has seen him, but not seen him, but experienced him.
Have you considered like getting those like uh those night vision cameras, like setting them up and
Never
thermometers
actually thought about
there?
it, but I probably could. We need a ghost stream.
Live stream it to Twitch, like see what happens. Like 24/7 haunted house stream.
Oh, you guys are really
See
into
how
this
that
now.
works.
We'll have to set them up in my sister's room because that's where the most activity is. My
Damn,
brother-in-law
it's
actually
creepy.
thinks there's two ghosts. There's Pappy and whatever it is in the ceiling.
Oh boy, really?
Because there's something in the ceiling, and it's in a different kind of vibe than Pappy.
A different vibe.
Yeah.
So the other one is like the good ghost, but that's like the other one is like the scary ghost. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
guys have
it's
no
like you're
idea.
staying up there. I ain't
I'll keep
opening
it
that
hatch
hatch.
locked.
There's no way. I'll have to take a picture for you guys, and I'll post it on
You
Twitter
have
to show
to,
you the
yeah.
hatch. It's creepy as heck. It's white paint and it's got painted over like boards and it's got one of those click click latches on it. I'm looking at it going, nope, I ain't opening that ever. Whatever's
It's
up
like
there, staying
somebody who
there.
it's like people knew that there was something crazy up there and tried to hide the evidence. Like they just like
Exactly,
boarded it over and
exactly. It's
painted it
like
over
they
and were like,
knew
nope,
when they
to
were
sell the
renting out
house,
this house that something lives here.
Oh my god, like that is insane. That is insane. Like I would be too curious and I would open a hatch and I would get cursed and possessed and I die. Like that's what would happen to me.
What you're gonna be doing something they're not supposed to do. So hey, why not? Let's open this thing. No, no, I couldn't do it. I can't do it. Because I don't know if that thing up there, whatever it is gonna hurt Pappy. Because I like Pappy. He's kind of funny.
You're fearing like a ghost war or something.
Yeah, in the hallway right next to my room.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no.
Well,
Yeah, no. All right, I completely went off subject here. All right. So, what are the future goals for your channel? Are you looking for partner? Or are you just gonna chill where you are? What are you gonna do?
well, I would definitely love to be partner. I think that's like almost a goal of anyone on Twitch, right? Like we all
Mm-hmm.
would love to be partner one day. Same, definitely for me. I'm not sure if it's gonna happen. Some days I feel like maybe it could, but I feel the chances of getting partner as a variety streamer are just so low. It is so low. It's just excruciatingly low. It's so difficult. Like if you have one game you commit to, I feel like it's way easier to get partner because your audience will stick with you because they find you because they like a certain game, and if you keep streaming that certain game they stay with you.
Mm-hmm.
But whereas if you're a variety streamer, I have seen insane drops in viewers, like if I just switch games because people find me for like a certain game or something, and then if I stream something else they will leave. Like I never have like the same people in my community for longer. Well, few people, like a really tiny core group, but usually people will leave like with the next game or after a couple months. Like I've seen from when I streamed Bloodborne, I think I used to average like 60, 70, and then I switched to Resident Evil 7 and I had like 30 viewers. Right, like there's these kind of insane drops. So even though I would love to be partner, I feel like it's going to be very, very long and very tough road for
Actually,
sure.
I think you have a very good chance of becoming partner.
Well, thank you. I
Just
hope so.
because, just because, I mean, there's lots of reasons. I mean, you have a very channel. I mean, horror streamers are not that unique. There's a bunch of them on Twitch, but just how you handle the horror streaming genre in general. Because most people are horror streamers that go, "Oh God, no, I'm hiding under the blanket." You're like, "Bring it on, bitch!" That's it. And you're like, "Give me all the scares because I want it." But you do it so eloquently and quietly that it's like nobody else is like that on Twitch.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I hope that might set me apart, but I do also feel like, well, there's definitely a certain factor that people absolutely adore about those people who do hide under the blankets and scream for their dear lives. Like, those people are very much loved, especially on YouTube compilations and stuff like that. I feel like people do not necessarily go crazy over people who, do not really get scared at all. Like, there's not as much of a fun factor in it.
But I mean, there's lots of other things about your channel though that also brings people in, like the discussions. Okay, chat. Let me talk about the discussions in Elisa's channel. All right, she's not one of those people go, "Oh yeah, I like that," and then stop talking about it and go back to the game. She will give you a detailed essay about why she likes something, and it's like, I love that. She's so thorough. There's no question of why she likes something or why she feels a certain way, and I love that about your channel. You're so thorough about everything.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you. Yeah, I
welcome.
mean, I definitely am an opinionated person, but I know that most people on Twitch, they tend to shy away from certain topics or opinions. Like you say, people just say, "Yeah, I like it," and not really give like any details, which I get, because the more you say you like something, the more it encourages people who do not like it to speak up as well. And
Exactly.
that can trigger like a whole lot of like discussions and bad vibes. And I've definitely had like my fair share of like discussions and arguments whenever I speak up about anything or share my opinion about anything, no matter when it's in my Discord server or in my Twitch. However, I feel that
That reminds
especially
me,
as
I'm
a
not in
variety
your Discord.
streamer,
I should be.
I feel like definitely as a variety streamer, it's more important than anything to do speak your opinion. Because if you share a lot of things about yourself and you're very opinionated and you share your opinion with other people, I feel like it encourages people to know you more as a person and to also bond with you in a way. And I feel like that might increase your chances of people liking you to the point that they're willing to check out your stream, even if you're playing a game that they don't necessarily like.
Hmm.
Like they need to watch the stream for you and not necessarily for the game you play. So it's really a two-sided coin of like, yes, I want to be opinionated because it might get people to know me and or bond with me in some way, and they'll stick by me, like, through like a longer time. But on the other hand, you really like attract arguments and discussions like magnets. So it's really just like, yeah, a two-sided coin that's like really hard to find like the balance with.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You have to be careful whatever you say on Twitch.
It's true. You gotta be careful. It's true. But I just, unfortunately, I feel like I lack that care. I
Actually,
wish
I
I
think
had
you
it
have a
more.
good level of what you let people in and what you block out. So people
Hmm.
can connect with you on a level, but you're not giving everything.
I hope that certainly is the case. I feel I do overshare like a lot on Twitch, but at least I do not use Twitch as therapy. There's definitely some streamers who, they come on Twitch and they are in the worst mood ever, or they've gone through like a bunch of shit that day. And they're like, okay, well, let me stream on Twitch and just rant my entire feelings to Twitch chat, with everything that happens.
Hmm.
I feel like I don't do that, so at least I've got that going for me. Like, at least I don't use Twitch as therapy. But besides that, I feel like I do share like a whole lot, maybe more than I should.
Yep, I agree. ASMR. Alan's voice is ASMR.
Thank you.
She
I do like
actually did an
humor.
ASMR stream not too long ago, which was
It
very
was crazy.
interesting.
It was very, very crazy. I was definitely out of my comfort zone, but I was stupid enough to put it up as an idea, like to like whenever I stream a game or I do anything, I always let my Discord or Twitter like vote for whatever it is that I'm gonna do.
Hmm.
And I found that 99% of the time, the exact thing that I do not want to win always wins. And it was the exact fucking ASMR thing that won.
Yeah,
I was like, oh no, oh really? I should have not put this in. But, see, when you do clownery, the clown comes back to bite. Like, it is true.
it's true. Yeah. I
It's
didn't make any
terrible.
clips of that. I should have, so I can have a little because you said I'm not doing this ever again. This is a one-time
Yeah,
deal.
I'm not doing this ever again. It's true. It was
I should
just,
have
it
made at
was
least a couple of
weird.
clips so we could prove that you did this thing. But it was actually very engaging. I usually don't like ASMR, like the weird crackling of like slime or whatever, or scratching or
Oh,
eating. But it wasn't bad. I didn't get it total cringe in the shoulders. So
well,
cool.
thank you. That's like the best compliment I can get, really, for whatever it was that I did. Like, no cringe, that's good enough. Like, that's good enough for me. I'll take it.
Okay.
God.
But okay, so you're working on Dark Souls now. Are you going to finish the whole series, all three games, or just the first one?
Well, I've streamed like Dark Souls 1, 3, and 3 earlier. Like, I think 4 or 5 months ago, I think I finished Dark Souls 3. But I am gonna do like a whole revise of the series doing this challenge run. So I'm gonna take this challenge run that I'm doing right now, which is like a variety on like the whip only challenge run. I'm gonna take that through the entire series. So I'm definitely
Nice.
gonna stream more Dark Souls, yeah.
All right, so are you more of a fan of the Dark Souls lore or the Bloodborne lore?
Honestly, gotta say that I really do not know anything of the lore.
Oh,
Like I've
okay.
never like looked up on YouTube or whatever. Like I've never like deep dived into it. And let's be real, like as much as people say, "Oh my god, the games are so filled with lore,"
Okay.
it's just not really like in the game itself. Like people say, yeah, it's like on item descriptions and on Bloodborne, I've almost read like the item descriptions on every single item that I got, and I was still like, okay, I don't this. I probably have only scratched the surface of what you find on like lore YouTube videos. It was like, okay, there's some baby, and there's like a newborn, and like it needs to be born, and like I was like, okay, like that's it, like. I really only scratched the surface, I think, but the lore seems very interesting. It definitely seems like there's probably a lot more to it than I know. But I'm just there to kill some big things and like have fun.
Yes, you definitely
You know?
are. If it's bigger, bring it on. I want to kill it. You're so
Exactly.
funny.
That's what I'm here for, like more than anything really.
Yeah, I joined your community when you were playing the village. Unfortunately, I can't play it because it makes me motion sick. I can watch people play
Mm.
it because I can look away from the screen. And I was watching you play it, and you're like going through it, going, "Oh, this is okay. I like this. Okay, I like this." It was just so fun. Watching you play it. You're so animated into everything you're playing. I admire that.
Yeah, I mean, Resident Evil Village was, I mean, when I played it for the first time, I really did not really know how to feel about it. Like, but I feel I was really not feeling the game simply because, well, I played it on like a very, like I played it on standard difficulty. Like I didn't play it on easy or anything, but played it on standard, which we all know is like very, very easy, especially for Resident Evil games. So
Mm-hmm.
I was not really focused on like gameplay at all. Like the main thing that I could focus on, because it was the only thing really that like I could focus on, because gameplay was definitely not it. Like standard is like you do a few bullets in any boss and they die. So that was the story and like the world building and the map and stuff like that. And I feel like story wise, Resi Village is definitely a weird game. Let me just say it's a
It
little
is.
special.
It
Like that's
is.
all I can say about it. It's very special. Like you know. Um so I definitely was not a big fan, but as I started like upping the difficulties, doing like hardcore and Village of Shadows, and then the knife onlys of like every difficulty, I really started loving the game. Like it really felt comfortable. Like I don't know if that is because I just put so much time into it, or because when focused on gameplay, it was better because it does have a really nice gunplay, especially compared to Resi 7. So I definitely got like more of a good feeling with the game when I played it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
So I
actual
yeah.
mechanics were a lot better,
Oh, they
and
were so much better. So much better.
from what I played, I could only play for like an hour, but when I played, it was the mechanics were good. It's just the field of vision was making me go, "Ugh," so I had
Uh,
to stop playing it.
I
Um,
think in general, like any first person game that does not offer the option to have a field of view slider and like to increase it or decrease it or whatever, it's just a crime. Like you should go to jail. Like if you make a first person game and you're not gonna put an FOV slider in it, like bruh, you're a bad person. Like
right? Yeah,
really, like do you not want to sell games, or like what's up with that? It's just weird, you
there was
know?
a game I was going to play recently called The Suicide of Rachel Foster, which I was really interested in because it had a really good storyline to it. It was more of your walking kind of simulator through a hotel finding things, but the FOV was so small it made me sick. I had to stop streaming it and play Stardew Valley to
Um,
calm myself back down from it. It's like, Why are games doing this? That and
Just so
the blur,
weird. Like,
the motion blur on games. It
oh,
drives me
motion blur is
insane.
terrible. Motion
It,
blur even makes me go crazy. Like, I don't really have that motion sickness, but motion blur will make me dizzy. It really will.
yeah, it's not a good thing to have on games. I mean, just please take it off.
I think everybody turns off motion blur. I don't know why they keep putting it in games and keep putting it as a default. Like, I feel like it's a cheap way for them to just like get rid of, if you turn too fast, like some textures may not load in. I feel like it's a really like cheap way to just disguise that. Like nobody uses motion blur. No
Yeah,
one.
it's not a good feature, no.
It's not good at all. And I feel like everybody turns it off. Like it's just like, come on, like no one uses that.
It could
Please
be
just give
why
us an
I didn't
FOV
like
slider.
7 so much because it had some of those things to it. But it didn't make me as sick as 8 did.
Yeah, Seven had a motion slider. Like I was actually surprised to see that. Like recently, just like a few streams ago, I was playing some Seven. Like I was revising Seven because I wanted to do knife onlys of Seven, but I had to quit it because didn't seem like my audience was like too much into it. So, but I was surprised to see that there was an FOV slider. It's like, why do you put an FOV slider in Seven,
And
but you do
not in
not put an
8.
Eight? Like that is weird. Like why would you do that? Like if you clearly know how the feature works,
Right.
like if you like it was their first first person game, so I would understand like if they didn't have it in Seven but they did put it in Eight, but putting it in Seven and then not in Eight, that's just weird. Like that
Hmm.
just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, 8 confused me a whole lot. It just had the Resident Evil name, but really didn't have much of the rest of the Resident Evil world in it. So
Oh
it was
no,
like,
definitely not. No,
ugh!
yeah,
But
it's
I like the werewolves and vampires, but yo, you said this was Resident Evil. At least give me an umbrella
yeah.
symbol.
The only umbrella symbol was like on that weird ground floor, like on a chalice or something. It was
I
weird.
need
It
I
was
need an umbrella symbol to make it Resident Evil. Okay.
it was just I think Resi 8 was like one of the least Resident Evil games in its series. Like but I feel in general like the whole trilogy of like Ethan, Mia, like that started with 7,
Hmm.
they should have called it differently. Like maybe like in the world of Resident Evil and then just gave
Like
it
a
like a
spin-off,
different
yeah.
title.
That would have been easier for some of the old school gamers to
It's true, and
digest that.
it would have been just more accurate because let's be real, these games are not Resident Evil. Like they're not. Like
Yeah.
they just do not possess like the other things that make Resident Evil, which is just in general like such a hard question. Like what defines a Resident Evil game in general? But I think we can all agree that like Resi 7 and Resi 8 do not feel in any way, shape, or form like anything of the previous games before. And I feel like Capcom wouldn't have suffered at all if they didn't put it under the Resident Evil title. But I
Exactly.
understand why they did because obviously there's like a shitload of like hype and um a general like sense of like brand reputation, a very positive brand reputation that comes with Resident Evil,
Hmm.
So they probably wanted to like capitalize on that so that people were like, oh, a new Resident Evil. But it's nothing like Resident Evil, especially not 8. So I feel like they should have just named it differently because it
Yeah.
is not Resident Evil. It's just the trilogy of like Ethan Winters and his fucked up little family. Like like
That's amazing.
it's true. Like it's just not Resident Evil. Like
It was
whereas
it was
still
really disappointing to me because I was all hyped about Lady D. Okay, I loved her character concept, and I was like, okay, this is cool. This is a really tall lady. I want to battle her as a boss, and she's not even in it the rest of the game.
uh like you can tell, like literally, like you can tell that Capcom, more than I feel like any company out there, does not know their audience. Like it is such a straight up fact. They do not know the people. They do not know the kind of people that like Resident Evil. If they knew their audience, first of all, they would have never introduced like the Ethan, Mia, Resi 7, Resi 8 dynamic. If they had like any conception of the internet and like what their fans like, Lady D would have been such a big part of the game. But I feel like they
Yeah,
were completely caught off guard with the fact that Lady D was so popular. If they had any idea at all how the internet might perceive Lady D, first of all, I think the castle part would have been at the end of the game. Like it would have been the climax of the game, like the thing that
yeah,
people
yeah,
pay for.
exactly.
It was at the beginning, and she was like in the game for like an hour or something, or less, depending on how fast you went through it. It was so disappointing.
Right.
And I couldn't help but laugh like when I watched like the Capcom at E3 kind of thing. And I saw the Capcom at E3 and it was just like, oh, Resident Evil Village is gonna be there. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god.
Hmm.
And you were watching it, just was like 99% of the stream was just like about some anime Ace Attorney, and then 1% was Resident Evil. It was nothing but like a black screen saying, by popular demand, we are making a DLC. It's like, oh, what could that be? You know, they're probably scrambling at the seams to all of a sudden like change all the plans that they had at the beginning, probably scrap the DLC that they made and change it like all of a sudden start adding like a Lady D DLC, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Scrambling at the seams to just put her in for more content so they could sell more, you know?
Yeah, if they would have made Ethan just a little bit more likable, I think I could have followed it. I can't. I just don't like him.
Ethan is terrible. I think Ethan is like, I think out of all the games that you play as a certain like predetermined protagonist, I think I hate Ethan Winters the most. Like I cannot stand him in like any way. No,
Um,
terrible. Just
yeah.
terrible in every way. Like
I
terrible.
wanted. I was saying, please have another Jill game, please.
Yeah, I mean we all want that. Jill is definitely like my favorite Resident Evil character. Like she's great.
Yeah, she is all the good characteristics and the bad ones all in one. She is a complete rounded character. So
She is like
yeah.
Jill is fantastic. Yeah, and then we have Ethan. It's like
And Ethan is
okay,
just
the
like,
biggest
he's a
blowdown
mop,
ever.
okay? He's a wet mop in the Resident Evil series.
It's true. And I find it so stupid because the reasoning, at least for as far as my conception of it is that they say that Ethan is like, well, at least that is what people told me. Like when I was streaming Resi 7, like I've never like looked up any interviews or any statements. But as I was streaming Resi 7 and Resi 8, like and I was complaining about Ethan because of course I'm complaining about Ethan. I'm like, he has no
I
personality,
think
there's
everybody
nothing
did.
to him, he's so bland. Then people say, oh, he is bland on purpose so people can like, they can like project their own personality onto him and blah blah blah. But I'm like, this is a white straight man. Like only a very small amount of people are going to relate with him to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Like
And he
I'm never going to be
whines
able to
so much.
project myself
How
onto
can
Ethan Winters. Like, like I'm never going to be able to just like find any sort of like common ground and then like fill in my own kind of personality into Ethan because we're just nothing alike. Like nothing.
Yeah, it's like I identify more with the bad guys than the good
It's
guys.
true. Yeah. More with Lady. I identify more with Lady D than anything. You know.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm sorry, this wasn't supposed to talk about Resident Evil, but once you get me started, man, I am a huge Resident Evil fan. I have played all of them except Revelations. I've
Same actually. But and I've also not played Code Veronica, unfortunately.
Code Veronica is actually an unfounded gem of the Resident Evil world. If you
Yeah,
can
that's what I've heard.
stomach the controls, that's a good game.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. People seem to love Code Veronica. I really would like to play it one day, for sure. But I do not have the console that you can play it on, which is just sad. Like I wish they would like remaster it
I
or remake
actually
it or
have the
something.
original one,
Oh,
so
nice.
but the controls still suck. They make me so mad. It's just because how they're set up. They were trying a new thing. I think it came out on the Sega Dreamcast at first, and that controller was ginormous. Okay, it was like a brick. And you're trying to play on this thing. It's like, why are the knobs in such a weird place? It's like, okay, and you're controlling her Uzi. She has two of them, and both arms move different directions. So it's like, what am I
Oh
doing? I look
no,
like I'm
really?
signaling a plane. What is this?
That sounds
But
terrible. Like, oh no.
yeah, it's so bad. I think the worst one I played was Dead Aim. It was it was bad. It was on a boat, really bad. So, but the rest of them I was okay with. I didn't get to play the fan made Marvin's mod yet either. I did download it. Hopefully, I can get it to work and I can play
Ooh.
that. It's from Marvin, the guy in the police station's point of view. So it's pretty
Oh,
cool.
really?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
I'll see if I can find the link for you and I send it to you so you might be able to
Yeah,
download.
definitely to do so. I had no idea
Yeah,
this like
it's really
existed.
cool.
Like,
One of my other favorite streamers was playing it. And I was like, no way, that's cool. And I lost
wow.
half of my day because I just watched her play the game.
It sounds really, really cool, yeah. But I feel, yeah, I mean, I don't know, like when I was streaming Resident Evil 4, I was already just like struggling with the controls so much. Like I played Resident Evil 4 on with keyboard and mouse. It
Hmm.
was almost like unplayable. Like I had to like go into my Steam settings, like change a bunch of things and not even settings. I had to literally go into the game files, like what I like found somewhere like on Reddit, I believe, that like how to make it actually playable. It was already like unmanageable. So I cannot even imagine like how terrible like the older games must be unless you play maybe with
Yeah,
a
it was so
controller. But
bad. I have Resident Evil 4 on everything except I think it was one or except on I have it on PC now, so I have it on everything. But I liked it the best on the Wii because the Wii is easier to aim at stuff and dodge. It's I don't know why. I just find it a lot easier. But my wrist hurt afterwards because you have to keep swinging that Wii mote around. But it was pretty
The
cool.
Wii. That's great. Like that's great. I used to have one too, but I never had like Resident Evil on it or anything. I only recently got into Resident Evil like when I started streaming,
Yeah, I
sort of
went off
like
on
the
Resident
last
Evil
couple
again.
months.
I am so sorry, Elisa. I just go off. Just reel me back in. Say, hey, lady.
Honestly, I really enjoy Resident Evil too. Like I really do. Like I really started to love Resident Evil as I played like through all the games besides Revelations and Code Veronica. I just really Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm just as passionate about it as you. I had like a whole, I think 4 hour long just chatting stream before Resident Evil 8 released because we had
Mm-hmm.
no idea when it would release. So it's just like, okay, I'm gonna go live like on that day at the time that I go live and just like do a just chatting stream about Resident Evil until the game would like drop. But it just wouldn't drop because Capcom just wouldn't give us a time. Like they were too busy
Capcom,
like
come
spending their
on.
money on who was it, like corpse husband and all these weird people. They were too busy spending their money and having like promoting these massive people like, oh, they're streaming my game, and like
Mm-hmm.
even give the people who bought it like a release date.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
crazy.
All right. So
Capcom is just very
what was the
questionable.
game for you? The game that's on the pedestal that you enjoy the most? Because Resident Evil is mine. That I hold it up on that pedestal. It is above everything else.
It's very hard to say. Like it's very like I hardly ever have like a game that I'm like fully like in love with, but I feel like out of all the games that I streamed on my channel, I think the one game that I've played the most, and I feel like is a game that everybody should play in their lifetimes, is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Oh, I love
Definitely,
that game. I love that
definitely.
game.
Yeah,
It
it's a great game.
it's very unique and it makes you feel like you're completely insane too while you're playing it.
It's true. It's true. Like Hellblade, like they have like that video, right? Like on when you buy the game, there's like a making of Hellblade, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like they have really like worked very intimately with people who actually have psychosis. Like Hellblade is probably I think one of the closest like psychosis simulators like of all time, right? And I feel it's fascinating. It's just simply fascinating to be able to experience what these people with psychosis experience, and then
Mm-hmm.
also in such a compelling story. It's just very educational that way, but also just very
Yeah, the
cool.
lore
Like
is very rich behind that game. It's
it's a
very cool.
very unique game. It's just
Yes.
very well done, and I also like how long it is. It's a very short game. I feel like there should be more short games these days.
Oh, don't get me
We're still
started on
Hellblade
games that
on.
should be shorter.
Yeah, people
Alien
just feel
Isolation
these
does not
days.
need to be 12 hours long, okay?
No, it's true.
It does
It's
not
true.
need to be that long. It is an amazing game. It fits really well in with the genre and it even matches the first movie very, very well. But it is long as heck, dude.
Yeah, people these days just feel like they want to put they want the game to be as long as it can be. They drag it out so long that things just become so boring. They just want to put so many mechanics in it. They just want to put everything in it just so they can justify the highest price possible. And it's so lame. Like Hellblade when it released, I think it was like $30 max or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was like half the price of a game. It was actually a very decent price. Like we were all shocked. Like because here we have this game that should be $60, but it's like it's cheap because they actually justified the price for the stuff that you got, which was very rare. It just made me like the game from the start already. But I feel a game recently that I feel every game recently suffers from it is way too long. It's way longer than it should be. It has way more stuff than it should have. And recently a game that I played was Chernobylite, and I feel like
I
it's just a
wanted to
peak
watch you
example
play
of
that
how
because I
bad
was
games are these
interested in it.
days. Yeah, I was interested in it too, but it had like it had like 7 or 8 different like mechanics that would be just like one standalone game already. Every conversation was boring. It just had like I just cannot even like the game was too much of everything. It
Was
was
there
too
too
much of
much
everything.
dialogue? Because Dragon Age was like that for me. I got hit with all this dialogue. I'm like, yawn, I need some action, okay? I need to be able to at least walk, please.
There was too much dialogue. Yeah, like there was too much dialogue. There was like fucking like a kind of like Fallout 4 like base management, and it was people management, and then there was shooting, and then there was stealthing, and then there was like this and this and that and that. It was
Mm-hmm.
weird. It was like a dream world. It was like a real world, and every time you died, you got sent to a prison to like recover your weapons. It's like, oh, it was too
Oh man,
much of
that's just too
everything. It
much.
was bad. Like it was just bad. Like I streamed that game one day, and then I didn't anymore. Like I couldn't anymore.
Well,
It
Monk,
was just like,
you sorry, hang on one second. Monk, you do like Fallout 4 and those type of games, so you like the base management stuff. But some people are just not like that. Some people are just like, give me the action.
I was definitely like immediate action because the thing is, if I were to play that game by myself, I mean, I do. I mean, I never really did enjoy the base management in Fallout 4 either, because I feel those kind of like micromanagement games, like they could be like a standalone feature on their own, you know?
Hmm.
And I do like those kind of games where you just need to manage, like, it's a strategy kind of thing. Like, I really love Crusader Kings 3 and stuff like that.
Mm.
So, but I feel with Chernobylite, like especially if you're streaming, something like just base management and is, ooh, who am I going to give the food to? Oh, let me put that item there. Let me just make some furniture and place it. It's just so boring for the audience to watch. My entire chat was just so bored and they were all hating on the game. It just
Hmm.
had no action because the base management took up so much time. It's just not like, if you play it by yourself, it can be relaxing, it can be distracting, and then it can be like something that you can like lose yourself into if you're like building a base and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But for streaming, there was just no action like at all, and my entire chat was just so annoyed. I was like, let's move on.
Oh. Well, you got a bunch of
you know
adrenaline junkies in your chat, though.
Probably, yeah. I
It's
mean,
like,
that's
please kill
like,
the baboon, kill this guy, kill this guy. It's so great.
it's true, it's yeah. But I mean, I get it though, that my audience is like that, because obviously I play a lot of challenge runs and do
You
a
do,
lot of
yeah.
crazy
Hmm.
things, so I definitely do have attracted the kind of people who
You need to add
like to
that
see
into
me
your
pull off
bio,
crazy
by the
stuff,
way. I
you
do
know?
challenge runs. I'm a badass.
Maybe I should, but
You should.
yeah, it's like when you attract those kind of people and then all of a sudden you stream a game where you're just like spending like an hour building a base and like giving food to people, it's like, you can
Yeah.
imagine that people will be bored.
But you did mention that earlier that you start out with a specific type of game, and if you're a variety streamer, you switch to something else, and they're like, "What? Why are you playing
Hmm.
that? That's not why I followed you."
Yeah,
But that's the point of being a
it's
variety
true.
streamer. You can throw whatever in there and attract whatever type of viewer that might be out there going, "Hey, I know that game." You know?
Yeah, that's true. It's just hard. I feel like the best chance you have to succeed as a variety streamer is to have like a just chatting section with it, because then you attract like people with just chatting who are there for you and they will
Yeah.
stick by you through all the games. But when I switched from what was it? I switched from Bloodborne to Chernobylite. Like it was just crazy. Like I lost almost everybody who was with me with Bloodborne, because you go from a really high intensity, challenging kind of game to all of a sudden managing a base and like
Yeah.
building
Yeah.
some furniture and looting some grass. It's
Yeah.
so I get it. I get it.
I tend to like the indie, like $6 horror games, the
Oh,
real
those are the
bad
best.
ones.
Like, it's a general fact that those are the best horror games out there. Like, even like Pacify and stuff like that. Those really cheap,
Yeah.
horror
Yeah,
games.
I
Like,
like
they're the best.
scour Steam for them. I found one called The Darkness Under My Bed, which is actually about a kid who thought he had monsters living under his bed. So he built an entire maze. And your job is the police have this little robot that goes through and see what's under there through the maze. And it is the most terrifying freaking game I've ever played. I was like, whoa, what is this? Because there's all kinds of like mangled dolls and weird birds and cut out drawings. I was like, whoa. But I was like, this is the best six
Honestly,
dollars
now
I
I'm
ever spent.
interested. Now I'm interested. That sounds really cool, actually.
I mean, it's a black and white in the view of like a camera of a robot, and the robot gives you prompts. Sometimes it's like, "Will you use this? Will you collect this?" It's like, "Oh," and you click on things, and the screen will fade in and out, or it'll go black, and you can only see in like night vision. It's like, oh. I did try Summer of '58 last stream, Easy Bear, and I loved it. The only thing that was really scary to me though was the freaking bunny running around. Stuffed toys with button eyes bother me. It really bothers me.
It looks
Mm.
creepy. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a junkie for indie games. I have a
I
lot
mean,
of them.
I should play more. Like, I should play more. I think I definitely should. Especially those horror games. Like, I feel like I think those all started off with like Slender Man, right? Like those really cheap, like almost, what do you call, like a something something engine, where they all
The
like
unit,
built those kind of
the
games.
Unity engine.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
exactly. Like those are the best, those really cheap. they're great. Slenderman was fantastic.
Oh my
It's really
god, it was
set up with a lot.
terrifying. Oh, I don't know why it was so scary. The trees didn't even have the time to render, but it was so scary.
They, d-
Look, I'm
they
over
really
here
don't
trying to
make it
pee
like
my
that no
pants because
more.
Slenderman's after me, but it's so good though.
They're great. Like I remember having the best time with like
Don't laugh at me, Queen.
Slendytubbies.
It's true, it's scary. You play Slenderman.
Slendytubbies was even better than Slenderman in
Yeah,
my
yeah,
opinion.
I
It
saw
was
that. Oh my
crazy.
god.
Like Slendytubbies, like you had to collect like the tubby pudding or something, and you saw like Poe or whatever like hanging themselves from a tree, and like you were just like walking there, like collecting
Right.
your things, and you went to like the tubby thing, and then that fucking like vacuum was just like tripping, and all the while you're being followed by like Tinky Winky Slenderman. It was crazy, but so
Yeah.
much fun, so
The
much fun.
noises were so creepy too. It was like, stop,
Yeah,
please stop making those noises. I'm gonna hear him in my sleep.
that was
Like
great.
what was that game my husband bought me? Escape the Awalkie. Apparently, the ghost or whatever creature when it comes near you, it sounds like Michael Jackson going hee hee, and it's like that's the most scary thing
Oh
I've ever
no.
heard. I can't play this game.
Oh my god. Oh, that sounds great. Like that sounds like a
It's another
10-10.
one of those
Like
$6 games that I like. You know what I mean?
that sounds really fantastic. I cannot like oh my god.
Yeah, I know you enjoy the bashing and the slashing and all of that, but I'm here over here. Give me all of the creepy walkthrough scares.
They're great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
are
should
great.
really play a lot more of them just in my
If
free
you
time,
played those, I would. I mean, I'm always in your channel anyway, but I'd definitely be in there with my bowl of popcorn watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really should play more, but it's just like you play any kind of game like that, and my chat will immediately be like, "Oh my god, walking simulator," you know?
Yeah, yeah. They're gonna get you for it.
Yeah, it's
have you
true.
have
Like,
you played the Code Vein, which is kind of like along the lines of um. Why is my brain blank? Dark Souls. We were just talking about it. It's kind of like an anime version of Dark Souls, but they're
don't think I've
vampires.
played it. Is it like a PlayStation exclusive
I don't
or?
think so. No, I mean, I think it's on. It's actually on the Xbox Game Pass right now. You can buy it on
I do
Steam
have
or
the Xbox
whatever.
Game Pass, yeah.
But it might be something you're interested in because it has that kind of "I'm going to kill you if you mess up."
I might look into it. I'm googling it right now. It looks actually like it definitely looks weeb, yeah.
Yeah, there was another one coming out too, where the guy wearing like a plague doctor mask is kind of like Bloodborne. I have to send that one to
Ooh.
you too because it looks like something I might play. Oh Lord, help my controller! But it looks like something I love. Plague doctors. I'm so interested in that
Plague
era,
Doctors are really
the
cool,
plague
yeah.
doctors and things like that. But
They're epic. Have you seen like the real Plague Doctor suit? Like the actual
yes,
like
yes, really
historic
cool,
one?
really cool.
So creepy. Oh my god. Like I
I,
think they
I
used the
yeah.
exact same visual of the Plague Doctor, like the exact like historic costume or well, of course, like a reenactment of it for Haunting of Bly Manor. Like that exact Plague Doctor, the exact outfit was in there.
Cool. It's
It
cool.
was
I like
epic.
how they
I
had
really
all the stuff shoved up in their little leather beak, so they wouldn't like.
mm-hmm.
I forget what they used up in there with the little cotton, but I did a whole bunch of research because I actually did a steampunk kind of story for National Night Novel Writing Month.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing one of those stories, and one of my main characters was a plague doctor. I was like, I had
Oh,
to
that's
learn all
epic.
about plague doctors, and I fell in love with that era, which is kind of weird, isn't it?
Plague Doctor. I mean, the era of the plague is fascinating anyway, but plague doctors are really cool. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like even a plague doctor, like they used like, of course, like those like herbs and like anything that was scented, right, in those beaks because they thought at that time that the bubonic plague like spread through foul scent, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Anything that smelled nasty, which of course all the cities, like the densely populated areas, because there was like no way to like dispose of any like garbage of anything,
Mm-hmm.
like they all smelled foul, so they thought that like the disease spread through,
Yeah, or they'd
foul
shove
scents,
herbs
right?
in there. It's
Yeah, they
really
shoved
cool.
herbs in there so that they would like smell like nice scent and that would protect them. But in reality, just being covered in leather from like head to toe protected them more than
Ew.
anything.
They walked around with that hook that they examined people with too. It was like,
Yeah,
ooh.
the cane and like the top hat, like they were so dramatic. It was just so
Yeah, it was
cool,
really cool. All right, I went off into
it's
another
epic.
tangent.
No, I love plague doctors. I think the plague in general is just fascinating. Like A Plague Tale is such a good game. Have
Mm-hmm.
you played it?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I
you
have
have
not. I
to.
wanted to play it.
If you like that era, like a Plague Tale, it's fantastic. They're even
Yeah.
coming out with like a part two of it. Like a Plague Tale is just great. Visually, one of the most stunning games I've played in a very long
I
time.
hear
Very
everybody who's
long
played
time.
it said it's very nice, but I
It is
played
very
the
good.
game Vampire, which is around the
Oh yeah,
same kind of era.
yeah, I've
Um,
played that one too.
Game kicked my butt, but it was good.
It was good. Yeah, I feel like a Plague Tale does play like way earlier than that. Like a Plague Tale is like medieval.
Yeah.
You know, really like Middle Ages. Like really like so many. You know, like it's just rats coming out of the pipes. It's just really like
I'm
it's a
definitely gonna have
really
to add it
cool
to my
game.
list now.
I think it is on the Xbox Game Pass. I think it is. I
Okay.
don't remember having like paid when I played it, but I think it is on the Xbox Game Pass. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah,
It's
that's good.
epic.
Yeah, my love for horror games is really bad. I'm always looking for something brand new. It's like I have to go through the list. If I like, run out of good ones, I'll play the bad ones too. Why not? You know. My husband's always buying me games. He's like, "Here, play this one." I was like, "Okay."
Why not? You know, why
Why
not?
not? Yeah, he loves his favorite horror game is Layers of Fear.
Layers of Fear is really good. Like Layers of Fear 1 was epic. Like
Mhm.
I was so impressed by that game.
Mhm.
It was fantastic. The atmosphere, the sound, like the actual scares that were in there, like the changes in perspective. It was fantastic. Like it was a
Yeah.
game I was really blown away by. And I was equally as much disappointed in the sequel.
Yeah, what happened
You
there?
know,
It's like you had us gripped in the first one, and then you give us the second one. It's like, what is this?
it was not even in the same realm. It was literally not like it's not even like comparable. It's like comparing like apples and oranges.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
it's
it's like
not
the
even
same.
scary.
Like not even. It was terrible. Like Layers of Fear 1. I really want to play the game again.
You should.
I really should. Yeah, I should definitely.
You
It was
should
fantastic.
definitely.
It
It
was
is good.
fantastic.
Um,
Yeah.
Another game that got me was Visage or Visage, however you want to say it. It's a lot like PT, and it was like probably the best PT reference game there is Visage. It has all those different stories to it. I was like, oh, this is kind of scary. But yeah, that's another one of my
Hmm.
favorites.
I've heard a few people in my chat like recently say like, "Have I played that game?" I have not heard of it at all. Is it like new or?
It's not new. But it is very good. You might like it. It is kind of it's repetitive and emotional where you're going through a house and things randomly change depending on the situation and you go through different chapters. But you might like it if you are into the ghost kind of thing.
I love it. I'm googling it right now. It looks so cool. I think I will get it.
I think you
I
would
think I'll
like
get
it.
it. Yeah, it looks very creepy.
Creepy.
I
Yeah,
can
it's
see
one of those
the
games that it's like, oh my
hallway and
god.
stuff like that.
I love being scared, and that's one of the games that was like, oh, what is that now?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it.
Yeah,
It looks
it's
really
really
good.
good. Ah, alrighty. All right. Go back to this interview because we just went on a game tangent for 20 minutes because we're good at this, aren't we, Elisa? Going off
Yeah,
on
we are.
tangents.
We talk a lot. I mean, that's a good thing on Twitch.
It is. It is.
It's a
I
very
found
good thing.
myself. I don't know if you do this, but I know me and Queen were talking about it this morning. That you narrate your games you're playing, even though you're not streaming. I was
Yeah.
narrating when I was playing games with my husband. He's like, "Would you stop that?" I was like, "I can't help it. I've been doing it for a year now. Now you're making. I have to keep doing it because if I get out of practice, and I'm just gonna be quiet on stream, and that's not good. Quiet is bad.
Yeah, no, that's not good at all. It's better on Twitch to over talk than to not talk
Yeah,
at all. Like I feel, because you need to, yeah, the more you talk, the better, really.
gotta fill that empty space with stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You do that very well.
Oh, thank you.
You're
It is hard
welcome.
sometimes. It
Sometimes
is
I sit
hard.
there and I'm concentrating on a game, and it's like I forget to speak, and I'm like, "Oh shit, I gotta talk to chat."
Yeah, it's really hard to talk about stuff, like to just find stuff to talk about, especially when say for example you've died like 50 times over, or you're replaying the same game over and over and over again, it's so hard to find like new things to talk about, like when you focus on gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really struggled with that, like you know, in Bloodborne you need to keep like regrinding for vials and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do the same grind like over and over, like almost every stream, and it's like 40 to 50 minutes, and it's like, what do you talk about when you've already commented on it like so many times? It's tough. It's really tough sometimes to keep talking
It's
about
one of
something that's
those
engaging.
things I appreciate in speedrunners.
Yeah. Mhm.
The full time speedrunners that just manage to talk about stuff while they're speedrunning, because it's like, I've done this 467 times, but I gotta find some new stuff to talk about. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, how do you do it, man? How do you do
It's
it?
admirable. It's admirable. I've only really seen speedruns of like Resident Evil 3 remake.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, with Resident Evil 3 remake, it makes sense. You can comment on everything because that game is like different every time you play through it. Every single time there will be like different RNG, or
Mm-hmm.
something is rigged, or something is scuffed, and something is there where it shouldn't be. So I
Right.
mean, that makes sense. But I don't know, with other like speedruns where stuff remains the same, I don't know. I don't know how people do it. Like mad respect for those kind of people. Seriously.
There is one streamer that Queen introduced me to, Moon Runes. He
Hmm.
speed runs Alien Isolation and Outlast and games like that. And I'm watching him speed run through Outlast. And I'm like, oh my god, well, you are insane, man. I got down to the part with the generator, and I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. But
Yeah,
he's
no,
like speed runs, and it's like, oh my god, you're insane. I love that. I love your tenacity. I sound like Nikolai. I love your tenacity. You just go after it and go, yes, I'm gonna get this. Oh man.
honestly, speedrunning Outlast, I would go insane. Like that
Yeah.
game is so high intensity. I feel at
Mm-hmm.
one point you would just like lose your cool. It would just like get
But
to
he's like the
yeah.
sweetest guy. And you come in this chat and he's like, hello, lovely. How are you doing? It's like, how are you so calm? But there is a giant guy chasing you.
Oh, crazy.
I used to not like speedrunners at all when I first started, in the Twitch world. I was like, why would you want to do that? Why would you like ruin the game when the people have put so much work into it with all of their notes and stuff like that? But then I discovered Queen, and as I started watching her, I was like, wow, this takes a lot of, oh my god, watching her do that every day, every day, every day. It's like, oh, this poor girl's gonna lose her freaking mind.
Yeah, speedrunning definitely like it's fun. Like I've speedrun Resident Evil 3 remake myself as well. It
Mm-hmm.
was really it's fun. It's really fun. It's like more fun than you expect it would be. It's really just when you really like a game like a lot, like you start doing it. You know, I don't think you
Yeah,
would
I've
speedrun a game
noticed
that you're
that,
not into, right? It's
because I
just a
would
way to
never have
keep
played any of
replaying
the other
over and over,
difficulties.
you know?
So, and she's speed running the hardest difficulty. It's like our Inferno, we like to call it, instead of Inferno, because exactly what it's called, Inferno. There's nothing fair about that, especially the rolling head. Let me talk about my anger with the rolling head. It smashed me every time. My fingers just aren't fast enough. Okay, they're fat. I have fat fingers, so I can't do it. And keyboard and mouse to me is so foreign. I don't think I could ever manage to play a game. The only game I can play on mouse and keyboard is Dead Space. Everything else is like, no, I can't do it. I don't know why. But yeah. I have a high respect for them. And anybody who does, I can't speak now, does challenge runs of any sort, because you need to have a certain kind of sticking power to not lose your damn
Yeah,
mind.
definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Like even when speed running, like having to restart a game all over again because you fuck up once and your
Yeah.
entire run was great. It's just you really need to be like some next level kind of insane. Like a good insanity, you know, or a bad insanity, depending on like how you view it. But you definitely need to have like a certain kind of personality traits where, you know, you have this insane perseverance that maybe other people wouldn't have, you know.
I've noticed that's a trait that a lot of the challenge runners have. That
You need
I
to
am
have them,
not
else
giving
you
up.
wouldn't do it. Else you wouldn't do it. If you didn't have that trait, you wouldn't be getting into all that. Like you'd be trying it and then you're like, nope, I'm out, you
Nope.
know.
I was trying to do the S plus rank for Resident Evil 2 remake, and I
Oh.
would run out of bullets in the sword. And I was like, no, I can't do this anymore.
And you gave up and never tried it again,
No, I
or
was going to try again. It was like, I love this game. It's a shame that I don't have all the stuff unlocked, because it is my favorite game. So
Mm.
I'm gonna keep trying at it even if I lose my mind.
See, that's the kind of stuff. That's the attitude that you need to have, you know.
Exactly. You need to go. No, I don't care what happens. I don't care how long it takes. I'm gonna do it.
Exactly.
All right, Lisa. Here is my favorite question out of the whole list. If you were to write a book, what would it be about?
Mm, it would either be a historical, I think, just literal, like archaeological study type of book,
Mm.
or else it would be, I think, like autobiographical in some things that I struggled with or whatever, you know, like just stuff
Oh.
like that. I would not write like fantasy or anything like that. No.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know
Mm.
why I'm surprised, but that's interesting because I kind of figured that you went through this and you'd want to help other people and enlighten them about what you went through.
Oh yeah,
You could help them.
definitely. I feel like there's always value in it, you know, the point of views of people who've been through certain things or stuff like that. Like, you know, it's definitely, yeah, it's interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know. I would not write. I would probably like choose the more just like an archaeological like account of something over like an autobiography, because I'm the kind of person like who is interested, you know, like who wants to read all that stuff about me, you know. So I would
You'd be
definitely go like
surprised if
the
people
true
want to
crime.
know things, you know. But
Probably.
I think you'd be very eloquent at it. It's like
Thank
I
you.
want to write about this ancient thing. Yeah. So yeah, I like those
Yeah, what
kind
would
of
you
things.
do though? What would you write about?
Me? Oh,
Hmm.
I'm a nutcase. But so I participate in this event every year called NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month.
Hmm.
Go with an idea. It is 50,000 words in 30 days. I've
Wow.
completed 4 years of 50,000 words. But my problem is I get so wrapped up in the details of my story that I never actually finish them. But I like to write horror, of course, and
Ooh.
thrillers. And my new favorite thing is steampunk.
Ah, you said that, yeah, with the Plague Doctor
Yeah,
character.
I have fallen into the steampunk uh, fantasy world. There was actually a story I read. I can't remember the title now for the life of me. I have streamer brain right now, but it's about the daily routine of a plague doctor healing magical creatures or whatever. But it was really it just grabbed my brain, so to speak, and
Hmm.
I was like, oh, I love the way this lady writes, the way she described things, and I wanted to try it, and I did it, but it was just a jumbled mess because it was the first time I ever tried to write that genre, so I was unfamiliar. I did some research, but clearly not enough.
Hmm.
But for
Uh,
the nano season, as I call it, I do like endless amount of researching the subject before I write about it. And this year I've already back in March I picked my topic and my plot and everything, and it was about Nephilim, you know,
mm,
fallen angels or half angels or
yeah.
whatever. And I was reading through Bibles, looking for quotes and excerpts about Nephilim. And my husband comes over and goes, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm researching." He's like, "Researching what? To be a priest?" I was like, "No, I'm
Uh,
researching for my nano." He's like, "Oh, never mind. I don't care." And he walks away. But yeah,
yeah,
I would
Nephilim. I
love
think the only
to.
thing I've read about that is like, what's that? Mortal Instruments or something.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all of that because there's actual excerpts about Nephilim being half angel, half human, and they the big flood came through and wiped out all the Nephilim and all that. So I was like,
Wow.
okay, I can do something with this, and I my plot just popped out one day when I was out shopping. And and I was just like, oh God, I got all these ideas in my head. So I purchased a pen and just started writing it on my arm. It's like I'm just writing all these notes on my arm. And it's like, what are you doing? I was like, shh, 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 shh. You're gonna disturb the process now. But
The
now I have
process.
like 3 of those cheap 99-cent notebooks filled with just like brain vomit of my ideas. So my
Uh,
mom was a wonderful writer. She wrote science fiction. Um, up until the day where she passed away, she would write
mm,
constantly on her Underwood typewriter. Okay, mind you, I love the sound of typewriters. But
that
I've always
it's
wanted
good.
to write a book because of her. Because I would sit underneath her desk as a child. I was a small child, mind you. I am only like 5'2", so I can fit in really small spots. So I'd sit under there with my bag of Doritos and sit with my dog and feed the dog Doritos. But I would sit under there and listen to her hours banging on this on the keys, and it would be like the most comforting sound in the world to me. So if I hear that noise, it's just like instantly sparks. So I actually found a YouTube video with it has in the background, which is a knowledge that you wouldn't necessarily need, but I was going to tell you anyway.
Have you
But
considered like buying like a typewriter yourself to write your stories on or no?
yeah, I was looking for that specific type, but they're all really expensive. But I did find a Royal typewriter, which is similar. Who's that? Who's that sub? Thank you, Queen Vic. There's another queen in the chat. Thank you, Queen Vic, for that sub. I appreciate the 3 months, you beautiful bee. Can I have a shout out for Queen Vic, please? She's an amazing streamer. She actually is a crafter slash streamer. She does felt designs too, which is great. But yes, I am a writing fanatic.
That's
I turn
awesome.
into a maniac at beginning of October until the end of November because I prep all through October, and then November I become the beast and just write and write. So for like 4 hours I could be gone writing up to 4,000 words a day.
Wow,
And my husband
that
knows
is
not to
like
bother me. I have a little postcard on the top of my computer monitor that says working, not working. But yeah, so if you ask me about writing a book, I would just like to write a book to completion. I've only actually completed like 10 stories in my life, and I've been writing since I was really young. So
I mean, listen, it's a very reasonable goal, I think.
yeah,
Maybe.
I mean,
Yeah.
it would probably make my mom really really proud to see that I published a book.
Oh. Well, maybe one day you will.
Maybe one day. But if you wrote a book, I would read it. I would definitely read it. Because it would be flippin' amazing, you know what I mean?
Oh, thank you. I don't think I ever will. Like, I just lack that kind of, I guess, skill with words. But
Are you
maybe
joking me right
maybe
now?
you get it. Like, I feel when I actually am under pressure to put something on paper, I wouldn't be able to do it. You know?
Peaches, Stephen King is one of my favorite writers. My favorite book is The Shining. I've
Hmm.
probably read it about 100 and sometimes. Just because of the way the dynamic of the book is set up, where it's in third person, but you can hear his point of view, his inner monologue while he in between the chapters. It's like I want to do that, so then I copied it, and now I use not actually copied the words, but I copied that style a little bit. So now I put the inner monologue in there, and it's so cool. Not many writers do that, and I admire writers that can. Sorry, I went off again.
Sounds really cool. I've never read like a book of his, but I don't really read a whole lot anymore these days, unfortunately. I
I was
used to
about
read a
to
lot,
ask
but
you if you have a favorite book.
mm, well, a favorite book is gonna have to be, I only these days read like just historical books, like anything, just like,
Oh no, that's fine. You can do
more
that. That's
study books.
great.
I never really read fantasy or just stories or anything like that. So I wish I should. I mean, way back when, like back like in like the early years of high school, I used to read like some young adult stuff, but never after that really. So I wouldn't be able to tell like a favorite book.
Yeah, because you're really into like mythology and things like that.
Yeah, really. I really like
My
just
dad was
history in
too.
general.
My
I'm a
dad
big
had a
history
lot
buff.
of those historical books around the house, like war stories and all that.
Yeah,
And
they're
like
great.
Egypt, he loved like the pyramids and stuff like that. So we had
Ancient Egypt is great. It's
yeah, we
fantastic.
have tons of books
Fascinating.
on that in the house. So that's not something I'm unfamiliar
Hmm.
with. But we talked about games and movies and books. There's only one thing left, right? Music, of course.
Hmm.
So we already know that you like the music, the classical kind of music. Um, I do enjoy classical. Do you have a specific piece that you enjoy the most?
Um, it's tough, but I think Dance Macabre is like one of my favorites for sure. I
Nice.
really enjoy that one. Yeah.
There was a couple my mom used to listen to all the time. I can't remember the freaking names of them though, because they're always so fancy. Um,
It's true.
um, why is my brain completely goes blank when I do these because I was like endlessly word vomit when I have somebody in person, but if they're like screaming, I completely forget. Of course, Moonlight Sonata is one of my favorites
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
because it's just cool and has really nice notes to it. My mom liked classical. She played that and a lot of the environmental ASMR things. She'd buy
Hmm.
the CDs with thunderstorms and ocean waves, things like that. She
Those are
suffered
great.
anxiety too, so she had to do a lot of things to calm herself down. Ironic because we both do the same thing now. I go and watch YouTube or listen to YouTube if I'm freaking out. So it's like I have to focus on just one thing or I will lose my mind. So
No, I feel you on that. Yeah.
she used to do that. So naturally I grabbed onto that trait. But she was big on those kind of music. I always thought that specific music pieces brought back specific memories. So if I hear like a certain tune that she would listen to immediately, all of those emotions come back. So music is a
It's
power.
true. Yeah, music and scent. I feel like recall memories like the most.
Yeah, it's a very very powerful tool. Very
Hmm.
powerful
Yeah,
tool.
definitely. I
But
really do enjoy classical music, but I feel there's great music to be found in almost any genre. Period. Like I
exactly,
do not
exactly.
stick to just one. I listen to classical music a lot on stream because it is DMCA free. You
Yes,
know, like
indeed.
I do not listen to classical music way too often, like off stream. Like sometimes I do, but it's just it's I feel like classic music is definitely the best DMCA free music you can get. You know,
Yeah,
it's like the best. Yeah, it's just intricate and beautiful in that way.
yeah.
More than any, lo-fi, like the same kind of lo-fi beat over and over. It can
See,
be more interesting to
lo-fi,
listen to classical
lo-fi kind
music.
of reminds me of being in a hospital. So I tend to not want to listen to lo-fi all that often.
Yeah, no, lo-fi is not necessarily my taste either. Like I don't listen to like lo-fi like at all,
I
you
mean,
know.
there's a couple of them that I'll listen to. I mean, when I'm writing, because it doesn't have lyrics, and I'll
Hmm.
just go off on it. But sometimes I'll think, nah, it reminds me of being in the hospital, and I don't want to remember that. But I prefer, I like classic, like 80s ballads. Those are like my guilty pleasure.
Oh, those are great. Yeah.
And my front runner is K-pop, and then heavy metal after that, and
I
then
love K-pop too. K-pop is great. It's great.
Queen said you liked K-pop, so I felt it was
Oh, a
safe to
lot.
mention that so I don't get yelled at in chat.
No, I listen to K-pop, I think, whenever I'm by myself or gaming or something. I think it definitely takes up like 60 to 70% of like the music that I listen to,
Yep.
maybe even 80. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I love pop music in general, and I feel that in the K-pop genre, they are making more music that is close to actual pop than pop top 50 music these days is. I really do
True.
not like the sound of the music that's on the radio these days. Pop back in like the early 2000s with Britney and stuff like that was fantastic, but they just don't make it like that anymore. I feel like you only get that vibe from K-pop these days. I
It's
feel
true.
K-pop
It's
is a
true.
it's a very misinterpreted genre by anyone who isn't into it. It just comes with a lot of
Exactly.
stigma. I feel like that's just a language barrier, though. I feel like a lot of people are like immediately biased against it because either crazy fans or because of a language barrier or just
Hmm.
because of a cultural barrier that they don't understand. But
Yeah.
if you're open-minded, you can find some really nice music in there, for sure.
Yeah. Listen, not all K-pop lovers are crazy maniacs. Okay, we're
Definitely
not
not.
all
No,
sangs that chase them around and follow them on airplanes. Okay, we listen to the
no,
music
it's
because
true.
we like it.
It's true. It's just there's good music everywhere in any genre, definitely in K-pop as well. Like you just need to be open-minded. But I feel like when it comes to music in general, people aren't that open-minded. They will always have
Yeah.
biases against like certain genres. But I feel like it limits you. Because there's my some of my favorite songs of all time are in K-pop, like definitely. And I know the kind of bias that I had like way, 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 way back when.
Hmm.
I think I started getting into K-pop like 7 or 8 years ago. But before that, I was like, well, like thinking it was a little bit strange, or like there was a weird culture attached to it. But you just need to get yourself over that barrier and approach it with an open mind, and then you'll find like the best music. And now I can't stop listening to it, and I'm really deeply invested in a lot of new releases and stuff like that. It's great. It's great.
See, I
Just
knew
great music there.
you were an interesting person. I knew it. I knew it.
I mean, I feel like everyone who opens their mind and listens to K-pop will find songs that they like. If you're
Yeah.
into the pop genre, like if you want nothing to do with pop in general, you're not gonna find anything you like there.
I
You know.
actually
But,
went to a BTS concert with my sister
mm,
in Chicago. It was probably one of the greatest experiences I've had going to a concert.
nice, nice.
But I mean, because once you get, I mean, when you're out here, you're going to get ridiculed for liking K-pop. It's just the way it is.
You're gonna be ridiculed everywhere for liking K-pop unless you're in a K-pop community. I don't know why that is,
Exactly.
but it's weird.
But when I stepped in that stadium, there was like 50,000 people that liked the same music, and we didn't
Hmm.
care any longer. It's like we could scream and yell and sing badly a language that we probably are translating horribly, but we're still having
Uh,
so much fun, and it was the most releasing experience I had.
nice. That's really cool. That's great
But
to
it's
hear that
not
you had
just
that
K-pop that
experience.
I like. I like J-pop. I like some
J-pop is good too. Yeah.
uh I like some Taiwanese stuff. I like Russian stuff. I like everything as long as it's got a good beat and a good melody to it.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
know,
listen
right?
to it.
It's true. I don't really care for languages like at all. As long as the sound is great, like I will listen to it.
I actually listen to Gregorian chant too.
Yeah, I same. Like I think like I was like a period in my life that I listened a lot to Hildegard from Bingen music. It's
Yeah.
like a very like ancient, like kind of like I think
It's
it was
like
like
the
some nun.
mailman walks by my house because our porch and our window are so in line, and I'm in here listening to Gregorian chant and painting. And it's like he's like looks in. It's like, no, it's not a monastery. Give me my mail. My
Maybe that's how
mailman
you
hates me, Elisa.
attracted
My
the
mailman
ghosts to your
hates
house
me.
though. Maybe that's like what invited the ghosts in, just the Gregorian chanting all the time.
Although I think I've terrified one or two mailmen in my life because I also paint. I also paint and draw. Um, but I was painting a piece that had lots of red, and I'm talking dark red, and it was all over my overalls and my face when I was painting it because it was an enormous canvas. This was like half of a floor. It was huge, and I was
Holy
painting it,
shit.
and I went to the door like that to get the mail, and my mailman looked at me like I just slaughtered somebody, and I'm like, "What? It's paint." And he's like backing up. I'm like, okay.
Oh. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, so but yeah, my ghost, I hope he doesn't start opening the door and stuff and start
No,
help.
that would be dark sided. That would be dark sided if he oversteps boundaries like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't move anything. He just likes to show his presence every once in a while. Like he'll stand behind you when you're walking down the stairs and you feel all of the goosebumps on the back of your neck. You turn around and there's
Ooh.
nobody there. It's like, okay, stop it, Pappy, stop it.
Oh, that sounds terrible. It just sounds like a nightmare, really.
I mean, it's definitely not a good feeling when you feel somebody behind you or somebody watching you. There's
No,
nobody there,
no.
and I'm here by myself for a long time.
I can't imagine that's nice. No.
Yeah, but but I've gotten used to the fact that there's a ghost here. So that
Well,
makes
you get used to anything at one point, yes.
But yeah, maybe I'll get some of those cool night vision goggles and check out the room. Although I may not want to go in there and find things. I'm
Maybe
gonna
one
have to
day you'll
read
open
more
the
into my
hatch.
house to see who was actually living here before we came here because
Yeah.
our original apartment was being torn down, so we had to move in a hurry, and we found this place, and it was like, okay, so this is pretty cool. We'd never actually rented a house before, and our house has like two fireplaces and everything else. But it's like, that upstairs, man. When you go into my house, the downstairs and the basement and everything is fine. You go upstairs and there's an air. It's like, whew. It always feels like somebody's watching you. It's
Oh
creepy.
boy. I feel when you do that research, you probably find like articles with violent death occurred in this house, like murder or
It's
stuff
might
like
be in
that.
the news. This girl pushed down the stairs by unnamed source. It's gonna be.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna be in one of those. What are they called? Ghost adventures stories.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, there's a guy who's living in my house, and like playing a music box and stuff, you know?
Mm.
Yeah, it's
So
so
insane.
creepy. It's so creepy. It's like I bet if you look under the floorboards, you're gonna find bones or something under there. Oh my god.
I would do it. I would be too curious. Like I would have a look, but then I would get cursed in the process, you know.
Curiosity is going to kill Lisa.
Yes, absolutely. Like that will absolutely happen. Like absolutely.
Yeah, I've always been interested in ghosts and spook things, so it's not unusual for those kind of things to want to follow me around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I have them in my first house, and now I have them here. It's great. Did you
I
ever
think
have a
they'll keep following you.
supernatural experience, Miss Elisa?
Never, never.
Never.
I would like to because I think like I'm always wondering like is it real? Is it not? Like whenever I watch horror movies, you know, like is this something that could actually be real? Like is it like something
Ma'am,
you
I
know,
can
I would like to
confirm it's
experience it for
real.
myself, you know. You can confirm, yeah, it's true, but I just would like to experience it for myself so that I'm like absolutely sure, you know.
Hmm.
On one hand I would like to experience it myself, on the other hand I would not. Like I would be like, no, please,
Yeah,
you
it
know.
depends on how brave you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so,
But if
yeah.
I catch anything next time, if I hear something, I'm gonna flick on that phone and see if I can actually videotape it because I've never tried. He always disappears too fast before I can do
Maybe
anything.
it's just camera shy, you know.
Maybe. I'm very polite to him when I go upstairs or if I go in my sister's room, which I don't like to do, by the way. Unless all of the lights are on, I don't like to go in there. But I go in
Yeah.
there and I was like, Pappy, I'm coming in here to check on the guinea pigs or whatever. And I'm leaving and I say goodbye, Pappy, and I leave the door shut. Because the door will be closed completely after my sister and her husband leave. And then the door will be popped when I go upstairs to go to the bathroom later. And it's like, stop that.
Oh
Stop being
boy.
it.
Yeah, it's good. It's better to stay on good terms and be polite, you know. Like respect the ghost, and maybe the ghost will respect you,
Yeah,
you
because
know.
he ain't pushing me down the stairs.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah,
no,
no.
no, that's not something you want there.
No. Yeah, I was talking to Lexi. Alexia is actually a witch. She practices witchcraft and all that.
Hmm.
But she's like, if he ever gets violent or everything, you can use all of these herbs and stuff to curb him from being evil. It's like he's not evil. He just likes to have things the way he likes things. You go so. And if you're stressed out, then he's definitely gonna show up.
Well, you have some very good like IRL RNG to not have like they have like a good ghost, you know.
Yes,
You don't
yes.
really hear that often. Like usually it's like
Yeah, there's
the
a lot
bad
of
and
people
violent
who
ones.
have bad, nasty experiences. But if we ever
Hmm.
move out of this house, I don't know what's gonna happen to poor Pappy. Like we're pretty jovial with him, and it's like we stay out of his way, he stays out of our way, unless he's messing with my husband. But otherwise, it's a good kind of ghosty human relationship. But if the next people
Hmm.
come in
Yeah.
and they're disrespectful, he's gonna haunt them. It's gonna be bad.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's gonna like flip
Yeah.
their bed or something.
Well, who knows? Maybe you'll like move out and then all of a sudden you get like articles like, ooh, paranormal experience, killed family, and this house. You're like, oh shit.
Queen, I don't want to take him with me.
No, that's true. I can imagine.
I'm pretty sure that he doesn't want to come with me, Mr. Pappy. You know?
It seems to like it where he is, yeah.
Yeah, he seems to like it, like in my sister's room, hanging out. I just don't want to open the trap door and find out what's in. But I gotta find
No.
out how he actually died and if he was married or whatever, if he was a loner or maybe he had a dog or a cat or a pet. Why he's so interested in my sister's guinea pigs.
Well, as long as you don't use a Ouija board to actually
Oh
ask him all that
no! I
stuff
don't touch those
personally,
things,
then you're
man.
good.
Mm-mm. Those
Don't
are
do that.
bad. They
No.
make
Those are
spirits angry.
bad. Those are bad. Like I would never like as much as I would like to have like have like a paranormal experience, I would
Mm-hmm.
never cross that line like ever to use like an actual Ouija board. Like, you know, I'm smarter than that.
Yeah, because it's just bad. It's like ripping them out of their current space. It's like no, you don't
Mhm.
want to do that.
No,
You'd make a good happy ghost into someone who's incredibly mean. Yeah,
it's true. You would
it's
not want to do
true.
that.
It's
No.
true. Lisa, you have to come over and visit me so you can meet Pappy.
I would like to, yeah. Like I would like to. I'd be up all night just like trying to like figure out like is he here?
Is he
You
here? Oh,
know?
you will know. You'll know if he's here or not. You'll feel the goosebumps on the back of your neck. And the
Oh
temperature just
God.
around the area where he is cold. Not like
Oh
freezing cold, but it definitely temperature change. You will know the difference.
man, that definitely sounds like ghost activity for sure.
It's like if you want proof, just come over for a little while.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So
You know what? I might have to. Yeah.
yeah, you're always welcome to come over and visit.
Well, thank you.
You're
Maybe I'll
welcome.
take Queen along.
You bring Queen with you because we were talking this morning. It's like we need to have cake together. So
I'll definitely bring some ghost hunting gear
yeah,
in the
we'll check
prospect.
out. We'll check out. We'll all three of us will stay up and communicate with Happy.
Yeah.
What a weird thing to communicate about. You know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah,
we're
it's
gonna have
true.
a ghost party. Oh, what's that about? We're gonna go
Ghost
talk to a
party.
ghost. Oh my god. Oh, well, that's all my questions, Elisa.
Well, it was fun. It was fun.
It was really fun. I am really happy I asked you. To be honest, I was so nervous earlier.
It should never be. No, I'm
Because
very happy to be invited.
it's just a thing about admiring somebody so much and you don't want to sound like an ass. And I have a bad habit of sounding like an ass when I'm talking. So it's like, okay, so I don't want to do that. So Queen's like, shut up, you'll be fine. Elisa's amazing. I was like, I know she is. That's why I'm nervous.
No, you guys are too kind. You guys are too kind.
But I think I'm gonna end the interview here. I thank you so
Mm-hmm.
much, Elisa, for coming and being the
Thank you for
first in
having
my
me.
favorite streamers podcasts. And guys, please go follow ElisaPrey. She is amazing. Trust me, her chat and her vibes are amazing when you go in there. And she has the most amusing stories and smooth voice. She's like amazing to listen to. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
But thank you so much for putting up with my weird stories.
It was great. I had a great time. Like I really had a great time. It's fascinating.
Thank you so much. So we'll be doing that, and my next podcast will be next month. It'll be a Saturday because the person I'm interviewing isn't available on any other day of the week besides Saturday. But I'll be interviewing Kazi because she's also a cozy streamer, but not. Well, Elisa's cozy, but she plays cozy horror. This is just a cozy streamer. All right, guys. Thank you for coming and listening to us ramble on about Pappy. I promise I'll send you some pictures of that horrible hatch in the ceiling, so you see what I have to be scared of every day. And let's see if I can find somebody for us to raid. Elisa, if you want to sign off now, you can, or you can just hang out and we can talk some.
Alrighty, I'll
It's up to
sign
you.
off.
Okay. All right. Thank you
It's almost
again. You're
bedtime for me.
amazing. Okay.
Thank you. You too. And
Good
good
night.
luck with your ghost.
I will. Thank you. Bye bye.
Alrighty, bye guys.
All right. Let's see if we can find somebody to raid. Oh, let's see who's streaming. Who's streaming? You guys want to go visit Moon Ruins because Moon Ruins is amazing. We're gonna go raid Moon Ruins because wait. So who do you want to go and see some Resident Evil 3 or do you want to see some Outlast? Tell me what you want to see. Please. Thank you, Elisa. You're an amazing person to talk to. See, I knew I wouldn't be disappointed. Do you want to go see drones or do you want to go see moons? Tell me, Outlast. Okay, we're going to see Moon Ruins then. We're going to go see him. I thank all of you for coming to join me on this podcast. There are going to be more to come, more interesting interviews, including the great Saravium. I can't wait for that stream. But I love all of you. You guys be careful and have a great day, okay? Remember, I love you. I love you. Okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
The handstand push-ups.